my channel. So today is a Venus day, but you will probably not see this video until like next week sometime. But you will know that it's next week. So Venus day is Friday, so you won't know. Welcome to my channel. I am Manaka, and this is my channel, Manaka. So we start our mornings with a lot of water to cleanse and clear out all the gunk, okay? And then we drink some guava leaf tea to help prepare our bodies for the cleanse that is our strawberry time. So in this video I wanted to talk about the first time I got my job here. So I was 23. I had been working smaller nyana jobs here and there. There was one job I got which was sales, and you know, people love me, but according to my chart, I need to check which part it is. Yeah, so Jesus. Okay, so because I am a generator, enveloping aura, meaning that everything comes to me, means that I'm not necessarily supposed to go out and do something unless my incarnation cross specifically says, hey, this is what you're good at. Hey, you have these certain gates and channels and all of those things that indicate that you are good at this. So for example, if you've read The Big Leap, you will notice that it has to do with things that you are talented in, like naturally talented in. So for example, if you're naturally talented in sales, it would have been something that you were doing from get-go when you were born. I was naturally talented in seeing the good in people when I was a kid and wanting to show people their goodness, hence the reason why I got into human design, doing human design readings, because that's a way to show you your goodness and to show you how to ignite your goodness, you know, like I'm in alignment, you know. So the first around 22, so I've done promotions before. I didn't do great with promotions. I was a waitress at Primi Piatti. I didn't do great. What else? And then the first, I would say, actual job that I had, I was doing sales. We were selling, I think it was courses for businesses so that they can build up their businesses and stuff like that. And I've always had a good rapport with people. I'm able to build up relationships with people, and that has a lot to do with my kitchen's environment and with my 5-1 profile. And it's probably also my Leo placements. I mean, come on. But sales, like actual physical sales, like, hey, begging, please buy this shit from me. And I know sales is not you begging, but you have to convince the person to buy it from you, right? And from what I've learned in human design, my aura type, because it's an enveloping, because it I guess calls in what is for me, the best way, and even with my hope motivation, the best way for me to market anything, even when I speak about my businesses, I'll probably talk about this again, but the best way for me to market anything or to sell anything is to show people that I use it, to give a people oh child, you can tell it's Friday, you can tell I need to sleep. It's okay, I need to be away from 9 to 5. Okay, so Anyway, so I need to, and it's funny because I've been doing human design for the last 2 years, and the most clients, customers, friends I've had is just by being myself. It's just by expressing myself. It's just by showing people what it is that I have and having other people talk about it and then coming back to me. So the cold calling sales was never for me, and even to this day. So even now, if you had to look at the way I promote myself, I don't at all. I don't promote myself. Even my YouTube page, if you check, so even my Twitter page, all my social media pages, let's start there. You know, at the beginning, you begin with all of these follow trends. You go for pages where they're like, if you're still under 100, if you're still under 1,000, follow me, connect to my live, follow everyone on the live, blah blah blah. But that is not it's not genuine. It feels like having robots who follow you. It doesn't fulfill me. Like, I don't want anyone to follow me who doesn't actually like my content. Like, I'm spitting fire, bruv. I literally say so many things that are so deep, even for me. I watch my Motivating the Nation videos over again a lot, because there's things that I can still learn from that version of myself, from things that I've said. And I've noticed that I can't do the cold calling, the cold following things. Mine needs to be natural, and that's how I've gotten majority of my clients, in terms of herbalism, in terms of Mihlari Organics, my herbalism company, in terms of even Lunar Sunflower, my I guess self-care and human design business. It's always been simpler, just being. So yeah, what was I doing? Oh yes. So the way I actually got this job the first time was, it was suggested to me by my friend that was working here, and I was like, well, I don't have a job, I might as well, you know. And I hadn't studied IT, I hadn't, you know, but I'm a very fast learner. If you give me something and I find it interesting enough, I will learn it and I will do it very fucking well, until I get bored. So it's not that I'm not doing it well anymore, it's just, yeah, you better fill up the gaps with something that's more interesting. So cool. I was nervous as fuck. I came for the interview, and honestly, I didn't know shit, but I tried my best to dress the way it made me comfortable. So not entirely as formal people dress, but comfortable enough that, yes, I still look formal, but I still look like myself. And speaking and being truthful and just letting my aura and energy let the people, I guess, see who I am. And I guess that's how I've always gotten my jobs. It's just I've gotten jobs that weren't necessarily for me. Cool. I went for the interview, nervous as fuck. I did the test, failed the test, and I think it was 2 interviews in one day, and I got an email like a week later that I had gotten the job and that I needed to get my tax number. First time getting a tax number. Ba, 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 ba. That's when you know that your income bracket is like, it's unfortunate because it is something that we have to like, yeah, we're building the country, but we're not building the country because the money that we put in is not necessarily going to what it is needed to go to. Cool. I got the job, and I think I was still in my young 20s vibe, where I didn't necessarily think I needed a job. I would rather just sit at home and not be stressed by somebody else. So the job itself was great. It's just, I started with call center, so at the time there was no departmentalization in this company. So literally I got into a space where now we had to be logged into all the calls, and that meant that I was doing everything. And it's okay to do everything as a generator, but not all at once. That's where the other part of my story for the second part of when I came back to this company, I'll explain it there. But I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Department. Okay, cool. So, but support was just all of us. So you all logged into 0010. If you work where I work, you will know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. That number is the worst number ever. Even the phones, the ringtone for the telephones gives me anxiety to this day. So yes, I tried my best, but I think I was still in a space where I was like, I'd rather try get money from like doing promotions. I'd rather have like a job that gives me peanuts than be sworn at on the phone on a daily basis and be told that I'm useless and be told that I'm that they're paying my salary even though they're basically paying for R100 package, and it's fine because people, when we're frustrated as human beings, we tend to lash out on the next human being because that's the easiest outlet. We forget that nature is a good outlet as well, like screaming at the sun. I've never done it before, but I would love to. Or like sitting cross-legged on the grass, walking around barefoot outside, hugging a tree. Those kinds of things, when we're frustrated or angry or sad, really does calm us down because it reminds us that this earth has been here for longer than us. This earth is still providing for us even if we don't believe it is, and majority of the time all we need to do is have the faith that it is, and I think that's where the law of assumption comes in, because you need to assume that everything that you desire will happen, even if you look at your 3D and it looks like a whole disaster. Understanding that there's certain things that yes, you agreed to as a spirit, and it's okay to go through those things. And like I said in the other video where I was talking about the spectrum of the lower side and the end and the top side, like if you are angry right now, that strength of your anger is the same strength of your joy. So I think that's what I had to learn. So at the time when I left, I was very depressed. I was very depressed, and I hadn't fortified my aura. I wasn't spiritual, nothing. So, and I think a year before that I had left the SDA church. So I was lost spiritually, and I was lost workily. It's not a word, but in the work sense, because it just felt like everything was against me at the time. So literally I told my partner, I'm like, listen, I'm not happy, I need to leave. And lucky for me, he was supportive enough to let me leave. Because we didn't need that much at that time. I mean, it was 2014, like 2014, like literally you could live on 2,000 rand easily. Now give me 2,000 rand, that's for food, bruv, for the month. That's food for the month. Anyway, so yes, I let that energy of the depression come in, and I responded to it. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna let this be my reality. So I left, and I decided that but when I was leaving, I had already gotten, I guess, the energy of a different job into my aura. So I think that's why I felt comfortable enough to leave. And it was a good decision because it did allow me to build up my confidence a little bit more. And as much as I still wasn't as confident as I am today, I was able to build up my confidence to work where I was able to work, which will be a part of the other story time. So I think the gist of this is to remember what it is that you do really well. The things that you've done as a child. The things that you didn't even have to learn to be able to do them. You know, there's some people who are just able to draw. There's people who are able to sing. There's people who can like nurture animals and plants without, like, we all have something. It's just majority of the time we're so conditioned to live a certain type of life. We're so conditioned to find the most lucrative way of making money, and we forget that money is energy, and money is attracted to somebody who wants to have a relationship with it. You know, money wants to move with you. Money wants you to spoil yourself with it, you know, to remember that, like, that whole communication thing, like, when money makes you feel a trauma response, when money makes you feel sad, when money makes you feel happy, like those kinds of things, it's still a relationship. And this is what I learned from Moloto. I did share her IG, but I'll share it again, in her money magic coven, I think. And it's such an amazing thing to realize that everything is a relationship, and you need to figure out how. Oh child, let me take a sip of my tea. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, the gist of the matter is that we just need to let everything be everything. Like, life is difficult, bro. Like, life is so difficult. But I think the more we work with life instead of fighting with it, is the simpler it gets. It's not going to be easy. It's just simpler and smoother. And that's the biggest thing I love about the law of attraction community, the spiritual community, the human design community. I think yes, there's those who just want to share love and light, and like they don't show people what it is that really happens in the background, like the shadow work and the deep healing and the deep inner work that you need to do for yourself before you can do it with anybody else. And yeah, so yeah, oh god, I've been talking for long. That was my first experience coming to every host. But yeah, I think it was a really good experience for me because it did allow me to move from childlike mentality or childlike behavior and move into a more mature behavior of understanding that, you know what, you still do need a job. It does need to be something that you enjoy, but as you're getting into knowing yourself and understanding yourself more, it will slowly become that. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I love doing human design, because it really aligns you with what it is that you came here to do. And it's not like it's dictating, it's telling you exactly what you know already in your gut, in your spirit, in your soul, what you came here to do. Y'all think I'm crazy, but listen, it's fine. It's okay. I think that's all I wanted to say. Hope you have an amazing day.